maybe that you contributed a little bit to get them ready for the next level. And maybe your motivation a little bit was able to push them to even think higher than the next level.
Sure.
And they both were real different, Joe and Matt, in that Joe was very successful in college. Matt had a lot of frustration.
Oh, a lot of injuries.
Even though he was successful,
yeah.
he had a lot of frustrations. He could have easily just said, I think that's going to be it.
Right.
But he didn't. I was so impressed with how he wanted to continue, and I wasn't sure that he was going to get that sponsorship, and he did just enough there at the end to get it, and then, boy, he took it and ran with it.
Well, he and Coach just kept tinkering and tinkering, and
they just, it out.
Yeah.
And I'm so impressed with Jerry Schumacher, how good a coach he is working. A lot of coaches at that level aren't willing to change different things. And John McDonald and Jerry Schumacher, two of the most impressive coaches I've ever been around, because both of them were willing to change. And Jerry, when I went up and watched Matt a lot in college, but I went up and watched him when he ran the trials for the World Championships up in Portland.
Yeah.
And ironically, that's where the NAIA has been the last couple of years. I already knew the course.
Right.
I was running all over seeing if he could defeat Nathan Ritzenheim, and he did that day.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me very proud. It's just so fun to follow their careers, and I wasn't able to, financially to follow Joe's as much as I would have liked to. And because I had a small young family, and later on I was able to follow Amy's and Matt's a lot more, and that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. And just, we were talking with Doug Clark a little bit earlier, and just, I guess Joe at one point, let's see, indoors, did he win the 15 and the 5 or the 3,000? And then outdoors won the 15, and then came back and won cross. So, you know. He's
run everything from the 15 to the 10K in track, and he won cross country and almost won it 2 years.
Right. Fell? Is that what? Yeah, the year before, I guess. So.
Around and fell.
Oh, yeah. But, gone blank. But, and then did you spend a year coaching in Kansas? Do I remember that, or did I dream that?
I spent 2 years, actually.
Okay.
A gentleman named Bruce Dufresne, a really good coach over at Shawnee Mission South, at an awards banquet with Kansas City Metro my last year. He knew I'd announced that I was going to retire, and he invited me to come over, and he basically said, you want to coach the boys, you want to coach the girls?
Yeah.
And he said, I'll let you just take it and run with it.
Sure.
And he let me do that, and I took the girls and worked with them for 2 years, and the last year I was boys and girls, and had a young man, Andrew Stevens, who made it to Nike Nationals.
Oh, great.
And that was fun, going out and watching that.
Yeah.
And then the Avila job opened up, and I thought that might just be my perfect niche to get back into starting a program, and hopefully here at the end of my career I can just have fun with it.
Yeah.
A small college is a lot of fun. It's different.
Sure.
It's not quite as, I don't know what I say, cutthroat or you know, pressure or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun trying to start this program and working with enthusiastic young men and young women who still want to improve as distance runners.
And that's what's great, is the sport's so much fun and exciting. And too many kids just don't realize that there are opportunities out there, no matter their talent level, no matter their. But if they are enthused and they love the sport and want to keep and be involved in it, man, there's you know, obviously the NCAA Division I, II, III, and even at that, the NCAA, there's Division I, there's all kind of levels, and even NAIA school, you've got big NAIA schools and smaller ones that so it's just a great opportunity that kids need to look at, and I
tell coaches all the time. Coach, a lot of coaches will say, we don't have anyone, I don't think you'd be interested. I'll tell you, if we have someone who's enthusiastic about distance running,
that's all you need.
I'd love to coach them.
Yeah.
And I get as much enjoyment out of trying to get someone to break 5-minute mile for the first time, a gentleman.
Right.
That maybe didn't break 5 minutes in high school, or a young lady trying to break 12 minutes in a 2-mile or something like that, or trying to break 23 in a 5K for the first time. I really get a lot of enjoyment out of that. I think if you really love distance running, it doesn't really matter the talent level as much as the enthusiasm.
Sure.
It's fun to work with people who want to get better. And the great thing about distance running, you are going to get better if you work hard and do it the right way.
Right. And you see the progress, and it's such a daily challenge. In other basketball, you can work and just work on your shot and your skills, and comes game time, and I mean, who knows if that. It's hard to really measure those things, obviously, but it's just not consistent. and distance running and track and field, you can always measure it. That's what's fun, I think, and so measure that progress.
I love it about our sport. I love that part of it.
And you've got another one of your athletes that just second straight cross nationals that also ran for you at Lee Summit West, and I'm going blank, please.
Adam
McGovern. And
that was so fun to have someone to help me start my program.
Yeah.
He was very loyal, wanted to transfer over, and he came over to Avila and helped us get the program established, and I'm really indebted to him because he's got us off on the right foot. 2-year national qualifier.
Sure.
Now it gives us a challenge to find that next national qualifier and to qualify a team somewhere down the road. We know it's going to be a long road to get to that point, but you never know. As I found out a couple times at Lee Summit West, my last year there, you can go from looking like you're not going to do anything to being a state champion, and that can happen in distance running.
Yeah. We'll just finish up, and sorry to take so much time. Just any suggestions or guidance for any just small things that for either young athletes or even young coaches that you'd suggest after all your success and experiences? And
well, I think the main thing I would suggest, and I learned this from Bob Craddock, my high school coach. He's a Hall of Famer, and he just coached his last year down in Georgia where he's retired. He's been in coaching over 40 years, and he taught us back in my high school days to set our goals and work hard towards those goals, and to be realistic and be honest with your coach. And I think you can't do anything smarter than that. Set realistic goals, set goals that are measurable, and then work to those goals and reach them, and then set new goals. And don't set your goals so high that it's going to be so hard to reach them. And then
that you don't get down and disappointed and you just want to quit.
That makes you give up when you do that, when you set them too high. And then be honest with your coach, because if you're really honest with your coach, I'll never forget a Matt Tegenkamp story. He was hurt once, and he wouldn't tell me how he got hurt. And I was nagging at him. Come on, Matt. I need to know if this is something I'm doing. Are we training too hard? Are we running too many miles? Are we doing too many hills? You know. And finally, he fessed up that he'd been playing basketball on his driveway barefoot. And it's a funny story because I just need you to be honest with me. I'm not mad at you. I might have said that was a stupid thing to do to play basketball in your driveway barefoot. But the fact of the matter is that coach and athlete relationship has to be real honest for it to work.
And criticism isn't bad. If your coaches tell you, you're not doing, you just need to take with it and run with it. You need to say, okay, I'm learning and moving on. So,
that's right.
And even no matter what kind of success, I mean, I remember, let's see, it would have been Matt's sophomore year at the Lee Summit meet, in track, and just had coming off an all-state cross-country performance. I think maybe 7th or 9th, was 6th. Went in this team title, and this little 5'5" or however, skinny little guy, and he comes through and breaks, maybe 5th or 10th in the 1600 and breaks 540. He's all excited because he breaks 540, and then think, what? Well, this guy is not going to be a 3/10 of a second from a world championship medal. But he keeps grows up 6'3", I think. I got to
correct you, 300ths.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, 300ths. Yes, I'm sorry. I said 3/10, didn't I? I was on my couch screaming at my computer that like 4 in the morning when that was going on.
I was in Seattle.
Yeah. But just and no matter where you're at, just if you love it, keep fighting and keep going for it. And then today he's got a photo from Mark Harriott, he and Zach at Nike Nationals last week, and they're both big 6'3" guys, and Zach seems like he's always been that, and Matt's grew into that, and so just if you love it, keep working, and you never know what'll happen.
And in the end of that, Zach Harriott, I congratulate him for having those disappointments. Bouncing back from those disappointments is huge. And Matt had a couple. He didn't qualify for state his sophomore year after taking 7th state cross country. He didn't qualify for state in the 2-mile. He was crying afterwards up by the steps at Lee Summit High School, and went up there and talked to him. And we talked about how those older guys just sat on him and abused him because he didn't have much leg speed at the time. And we talked about, Matt, you ran 9:42 this year, and you're going to be much, much better than that. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to get to the point where those guys can't stay with you anymore. Next year, 9:14. And those are the kind of disappointments you can grow from those, and Zach Harriott did it this year.